Jai Hind, dear student. In last session, we had learned about ratios, equivalent ratios, percentage, what is the use of percentage, and etc. Today, in this session, we are going to learn ratio to percent, means how to convert ratio to percent. For example, suppose some ratios are given like this. Suppose ratio is equal to 2:3. Now, what will be the percentage of this 2 part and what will be the percentage of 3 part? So, if you want to find out the percentage, then it will be 2 upon 2 plus 3, that is 5 multiplied by 100. Here we have to write total part. Total part here is 2 plus 3 which is equal to 5. 2 plus 3 which is equal to 5. So total part is 5. So ratios is, if you want to find out the part, 2 parts, then 2 upon total part, that is 5 multiplied by 10 which is equal to, here 5 20 jar, so which is equal to 40%. In the same way, if you want to find out the percentage for 3, percentage for 3, this was the percentage for 2, now percentage for 3, again 3 into 5, 3 upon 5 multiplied by 100, this gone 2 ja, that is 60%. So in this way we can find out ratio to percentage. First we will have to find out the total number, and then we have to find out the ratio, that is percentage, that is multiplied by 100. Now let us see increase and decrease as percent. Increase and decrease percent. Increase and decrease. Increase and decrease percent. What is increase and decrease percent? We have to see. Now as per the formula increase and decrease percent, we can have to see, for example, percent increase or percent decrease. Increase is equal to amount of change upon amount of change upon original amount, or we can say base also. Original amount multiplied by 100. In the same way, decrease also amount of change, percentage decrease also amount of change upon original amount multiplied by 100. So in this way we can find out percentage increase or decrease. Now let us see one example. For example, in a city, let us see this example, how to find out percentage increase or decrease. In a city, there is 5 lakh people. 5 lakh people. Before 1 year, that is, before 1 year, it was 4 lakh. Before 1 year, it was 4 lakh. Okay, before 1 year, it was 4 lakh. Now it was 5 lakh. So what is percentage increase? Now we have to first find out the amount change. Amount change is equal to 5 lakh minus 4 lakh, which is equal to 1 lakh. Now we have to find out percent increase, because it increased from 4 lakh, it is now 5 lakh. Before 1 year it was 4 lakh, now it is 5 lakh. So we have to find out percentage increase. So this will be amount change upon original amount change upon original amount multiplied by 100. Amount change upon original amount multiplied by 100. Now amount change is what? 4 lakh, 5 lakh minus 4 lakh, that is equal to, we can say, 1 lakh upon original amount was 4 lakh, because before 1 year there was 4 lakh. So we can write original amount is 4 lakh multiplied by 100. So here 0 0 0 0 0, this all 0 cut, here 4 upon, that is 100 upon 4, which is equal to 100 upon 4, that is 25. So 25% is increase. So in this way we can find out increase or decrease as per percent. Now let us see profit and loss. Let us see about profit and loss percent. Okay, profit and loss percent. Profit and loss percent. Profit and loss percent. Now before this profit and loss percent, we have to find out what is profit and what is loss. So first we will see what is profit. Profit is when SP is greater than CP, we will get profit. When SP is greater than CP, when SP is greater than CP, we will get profit, which is equal to SP minus CP. Here SP is selling price, CP is cost price, that you have already done in 6th standard. SP is selling price and CP is cost price. When SP is greater than CP, we will get profit. Profit is equal to SP minus CP. Now profit percent is equal to, and when CP is greater than SP, we will get loss, which is equal to CP minus SP. When SP is greater than CP, we will get profit, which is equal to SP minus CP. In the same way, when CP is greater than SP, we will get loss, which is equal to CP minus SP. Now let us see what is profit percent and what is loss percent. So therefore, profit percent we always find out on CP, as we had done in last increase and decrease. Okay, that we had done on base. So here also the base is CP, base price is always considered as CP, and so profit percent is equal to profit upon CP multiplied by 100. Profit upon CP multiplied by 100. In the same way, if we want to find out loss percent, then loss percent is also equal to loss upon CP multiplied by 100. So it is clear that whether we have to find out profit or we have to find out loss, we should always consider cost price, that is CP. If CP is not there, then we have to first find out CP and then we have to find out its profit or loss percentage. For profit and loss, we have to see whether SP is greater than CP. If SP is greater than CP, then there is a profit. If CP is greater than SP, then there is a loss. Then profit percent is profit upon CP multiplied by 100. In the same way, loss percent is loss upon CP multiplied by 100. Now let us see about simple interest. Let us see what simple interest. Now simple interest, all of you know that what is simple interest. Simple interest is the extra amount given by or taken by, okay, borrower, or you can see, for example, if you had taken loan, okay, then you have to pay some. If you had taken loan of rupees 1 lakh, then you have to pay more than rupees 1 lakh after the duration time. After the loan duration time, you have to pay more than that. Extra amount is known as your simple interest. So we can say that the money would be used by the borrower for the some time before it is returned. For keeping this money, sometime borrower has to pay some extra money to the bank, okay, or if you had deposited the money in the bank will pay you the extra money, that is known as interest. Okay, now how to find out this simple interest? Simple interest is based on this. First we have to see principal. Now what is principal? This principal is the amount which you borrow or deposit, the amount which you borrow or deposit, you can say that amount which you borrow or deposit in bank or from bank. Okay, then it will come rate. Rate is means rate of percent. Okay, rate percent, that is at what rate the bank is charging the interest. Then come time. Time means for how much time you had, borrowed the money or deposit the money, according to that. Okay, and then comes amount. Amount means the final amount you got, that is principal plus simple interest. The principal plus simple interest, what is you got from the bank, means 1 lakh rupees you deposit. Today you deposit 1 lakh rupees. After 1 year, if you are getting 1,10,000 from bank, so that 1,10,000 is your amount. Okay, 1 lakh was your principal, 10,000 was your interest. Now how to find out the simple interest? The formula for finding simple interest is SI is equal to P means principal multiplied by R means rate multiplied by T upon 100. This is the formula to find out the simple interest, that is P, that is principal multiplied by R, that is rate, and multiplied by T, that is time, upon 100, that is percentage. Okay, now amount we had done here to find out the amount. Amount is equal to principal plus interest. Whatever interest here you got, you have to add it with the principal, and that amount you will get. Now if simple interest is given, principal is not given, then to find out the principal, you have to principal is equal to SI into 100 upon R multiplied by T. SI into 100 upon R multiplied by T. In the same way, if you want to find out the R, then it is again SI into 100 upon P into T. In the same way, if you want to find out the T, then it is SI into 100 upon P into R. So again I am repeating this simple interest. Simple interest is the extra amount which is given by bank or taken by bank if you had borrowed or deposit. Okay, if you had deposit, bank will give you simple interest. If you had borrowed the amount, then they will take you from simple interest. That simple interest is extra amount or extra money which you have to pay or you will get. Okay, then it will get on the principal. Principal is the amount which you borrow or deposit. Then amount you can say borrow or deposit. Okay, and the rate at which the bank is charging the interest, and the time means the time period for which you had borrowed or deposit. The amount is the final amount you get, that is principal plus your interest. Simple interest is P into R into T upon 100. P is SI into 100 R upon T, R into T. R is equal to SI into 100 P upon T. T is equal to, here T is time, is equal to SI into 100 P upon R. So in this way you will get the interest for multiple years, or you can say if you want to find out the interest for 2 years, 5 years, by this formula you will get. Now let us start exercise 8.3. In exercise 8.3, question number 1 is, tell what is the profit or loss in the following transaction. Also find profit percent or loss percent in each case. Here first we will do the A1. In A1 it is given that gardening shear brought for rupees 250 and sold for rupees 235. So here CP is given rupees 250, SP is given rupees 325, CP is given rupees 250 and SP is given rupees 325. Now it is we have to find out whether it is profit or loss. We see that here SP is greater than CP. Here SP is greater than CP and therefore we have profit. So profit is equal to SP minus CP. SP minus CP is rupees 325 minus rupees 250, which is equal to rupees 5, which is equal to rupees 75. Here rupees 325 minus rupees 250 is equal to rupees 75. Now we have to also find out profit percent. So profit percent is equal to profit upon CP into 100, profit upon CP into 100, so which is equal to, here profit is given 75 upon CP was given already rupees 250 multiplied by 10. So now this 0 and this 0 will cut, this will be 3, so 3 into 10, which is equal to 30%. So we can say that 30% of profit is there. Here first we have to find out the profit, that is first we have to see that which one is greater, profit SP is greater or CP is greater. Here it is SP is greater, so it is profit. Then we have to find out profit and then we have to find out profit percent. So here profit is rupees 75 and profit percent is rupees 30. Now let us see D of the same question, that is question number 1. Question number D is a skirt board for rupees 250, that is CP is given rupees 250, SP is given rupees 150, CP is given rupees 250 and SP is given rupees 150. Now here we can say that CP minus CP is greater than SP, CP is greater than SP, therefore we had loss and loss is equal to CP minus SP. CP minus SP, so CP minus SP, that is equal to rupees 250 minus rupees 150, rupees 250 minus rupees 150, which is equal to rupees 100. So it secures 100 rupees loss, and once it is 100 rupees loss, we have to find out the loss percent also. So loss percent is here loss percent is equal to L upon CP into 100, L upon CP into 100. So where loss is rupees 100 upon CP is equal to 250 into 100. Now this we can find out 0 and 0 is cut. 25 4 ja, so 4 into 10, that is equal to 40%. So the loss percent is 40%. Now let us see question number 2. Question number 2 is here. Convert each part of the ratio to percentage. Here given we have to convert each part of the ratio to percentage. Here in first A is 3:1. 3:1. Now we have to convert each part into ratio. The first we have to find out the total part. The total part is equal to 3 plus 1, which is equal to 4. So total part is 3 plus 1, which is equal to 4. Now we have to find out the percentage. So we will see percentage for 3. Percentage for 3 is equal to 3 upon total part multiplied by 100. 3 upon total part multiplied by 100, which is equal to 25 here. So 25 into 3, which is equal to 75%. 25 into 3, which is equal to 75. In the same way, we have to find out percentage for 1 also. Percentage for 1 part. Here it is percentage for 3 part. Then percentage for one part is again 1 upon 4 multiplied by 100, that is 25. 1 into 25, that is equal to 25%. So 1 upon 25, that is equal to 25%. So in this way we can find out percentage. Now let us see question number B of this. This is equal to, question number B is 2:3:5. 2:3:5. First we have to find out the total parts. So total parts is equal to 2 plus 3 plus 5. So 2 plus 3 plus 5, which is equal to 10 parts. Now we have to find out percentage for 2 parts is equal to 2 upon 10 into 100. 2 upon 10 into 100, that is equal to 0, 0 cut. So that is equal to 20%. In the same way, percentage for 3 parts is equal to 3 upon 10 into 100, 0, 0 cut, which is equal to 30%. Then percentage for 5 parts is equal to 5 upon 10 into 100, which is equal to 50%. So in this way we can find out the percentage for each part. Question number C and D is your homework. Now let us see question number 3. Question number 3 is, the population of the city decreased from 25,000 to 24,500. Find the percent decrease. Now here it is given that population is decreasing. So first we have to find out population decrease. So we will find out population decrease. Population decrease is equal to 25,000 minus 24,500. 25,000 minus 24,500, which is equal to 500. So population decrease is 500. Now we have to find out the percentage of, find the percentage of decrease. So therefore percentage of decrease is equal to, here we have to population decrease upon the total population was there, that is population multiplied by 100, which is equal to, now percentage decrease is here, we know that it is 500. Population was, before it decreased, the population was 25,000 multiplied by 100. Now we have to this 0, this 0, this cut, 25 into 2, that is 2. So we can say that 2%. So we can say that 2% of the population is decreased. So we can write here, so 2% of population is decreased. 2% of population is decreased. Now here we have to find out population decrease, that is rupees 500. Then percentage of decrease, that is population decrease upon the population was there from where we had started, so that is 500 upon 25,000 multiplied by 100, that is 2%. So we can say that 2% of population is decreased. Now question number 4 is Arun bought a car for this rupees 3,50,000. The next year the price went up to 3,70,000. So what is the percentage increase? So here the same way, first you have to find out the percentage increase and then you need to find out its percentage. Okay. Now let us see question number 5. Question number 5 is, if I buy a TV for 10,000 and sell it at the profit of 20%, how much money do I get for it? Now here what is given, we have to first find out what is given. Okay, so we can say that here it is, he is saying that he has buy a TV, means CP is given rupees 10,000, CP is given rupees 10,000, SP is not given, profit is given 20%. Now this 20%, we always know that the profit we find is always on profit, whatever we find, that is always on the CP. So this we can say that profit percent is given 20%. So we can say that therefore profit is equal to 20% of CP. Profit is equal to 20% of CP. That means that 20% of, in place of we can say multiplication, then CP is given rupees 10,000. So this will be this zero cut, so that will be rupees 2,000. So profit is rupees 2,000. Now we have to find out that how much money do I get for it, means SP we have to find out. So now SP is equal to CP plus profit. This is the formula for SP. SP is equal to CP plus profit. So here CP is given rupees 10,000 plus profit is rupees 2,000. So 10,000 plus rupees 2,000, that is equal to rupees 12,000. 10,000 plus 2,000, that is equal to rupees 12,000. And so the answer is rupees 12,000. So in rupees 12,000 he get rupees. So you can say, so he get rupees 12,000. Now let us see question number 6. Question number 6, it is given that Zuhi sells a washing machine for rupees 13,500. She lost 20% in the bargain. What was the price at which she bought it? Now here CP is not given. SP is given. It given rupees 13,500. SP is given rupees 13,500. Now it's also given that it is 20% in bargain, means loss is given. Loss is equal to 20%. Now 20% loss is given, but CP is not given, so we cannot go ahead. So if CP is not given, what we have to do is we have to assume the CP, means let the CP be rupees, let the CP be rupees 100. Now if CP is rupees 100, here it is given loss is equal to what? 20% of 100. 20% of 100, that is equal to rupees 20. 20% of 100, that is equal to rupees 20. So when loss is rupees 20, then therefore SP is equal to CP minus loss. CP minus loss, which is equal to rupees 100 minus rupees 20, which is equal to rupees 80, rupees 100 minus rupees 20, which is equal to rupees 80. Again I am saying, when CP is not given, we have to assume the CP and then we have to go ahead, as I had assumed here, that let the CP be 100. अगर CP 100 है तो लॉस हमें मिलेगा 20 रुपीज़. अगर लॉस 20 रुपीज़ है तो हमें मिलेगा SP इज इक्वल टू रुपीज़ 80. अब SP इज इक्वल टू रुपीज़ 80 मिला हमें, ठीक है. ये SP इज इक्वल टू रुपीज़ 80 है, दैट इज ऑन रुपीज़ 100. So we can say that when SP is equal to rupees 80, CP is equal to rupees 100. जब SP 80 रुपीज़ है तो CP रुपीज़ 100 है ये. तो therefore when SP is equal to rupees 13,500, CP is equal to rupees क्या हो जाएगा 100 upon 80 into 13,500, 100 upon 80 into 30,500. So here this 0 and this 0 is cut. Now we can also cut like this. It will be 4, here 2. So now the answer is 100 into 1350 upon 8, which is equal to, if you multiply 8 and divide it, it is equal to 16,875. So it is 16,875 rupees, 16,875. If you divide it like this, suppose it is 4 the 25 here, so and 4 2 the, then again you can divide this 4 2 the, so 2 the, so that it will be 675 multiplied by 25, 67 multiplied by 25, which is equal to rupees 16,875. So when SP is, so we have to find out the answer, that when SP is rupees 13,500, CP is rupees 16,875 if the loss is 20%. So we can write that Juhi, that what was the price at which C bought. So we can write that C bought at, so we can say C bought at rupees 16,875. She bought at rupees 16,875. Now let us see question number 7. Here question number 7 is, chalk contain calcium, carbon and oxygen in the ratio 10:3:12. So we can say that ratio of calcium, carbon and oxygen. So ratio of calcium is given here 10, then parts of, here it is ratio given, then we can say that here it is parts of calcium this, then parts of carbon is given 3, and parts of oxygen is given 13. Now we have to find out that, find the percentage of carbon in chalk. We have to find out the percentage of carbon in chalk. So here we can say that total parts is equal to 10 plus 3 plus 13, 10 plus 3 plus 13, so 10 plus 3 plus 12, here also it is 12, so 10 plus 3 plus 15 plus 25. So total part is 25. Now we have to find out percentage of carbon. Therefore, percentage of carbon is equal to 3 upon, where carbon for percentage of carbon is 3 upon 25 into 100. 3 upon 25 into 100, that is, this will be cut, that will 25 fours are, that is equal to 12%. So percentage of carbon is equal to 12%. Now in this was the first one. Now in this, the same second one was, if in a stick of a chalk carbon is 3 gram, what is the weight of chalk sticks? Now here it is given that carbon is equal to 3 gram. It means that let the weight of chalk be X. Now it is given that carbon is 3 grams, so we can say that, therefore we can say that 12% of chalk is equal to 3 gram. 12% of chalk is equal to 3 gram. Now therefore 12% of chalk is, we had taken X is equal to 3 gram. Now when we convert it, when we simplify it, it is 3 into 100 upon 12. 3 into 100 upon 12. So this both will cut, the 3 and here it will be 25. So 3 and 3 cut. So we can say that X is equal to 25 grams. So the weight of, we have to find out the weight of chalk stick. So we can say that, so the weight of chalk is 25 grams. So the weight of chalk is 25 grams. Here the weight of carbon is given. The weight of carbon is equal to 3 gram. It is given. Now we have to find out the total weight of chalk. So we have to assume it. Let the total weight of chalk be X. Now it is given that the carbon is 12% in the chalk. So 12% of X is equal to 3 gram. Now 12% of X means 12 upon 100 into X is equal to 3 gram. When we simplify it, it is X is equal to 25 gram. So the weight of chalk is 25 gram. Now question number 8. Amina buys a book for rupees 275 and sell it at the loss of 15. This you have to do the same as we had done question number 5. There it was profit, here it was loss. So you can do it as the same. Now let us see question number 9. In question number 9, it is given that find the amount to be paid at the end of 3 years in each case. So A, here it is given principal is given rupees 1200. Rate is given 12% and rate is given 12%. Time is again given. Time is equal to 3 years. We have to find out the amount. So first, to find out the amount, we have to find out simple interest. So we can say that we know that SI is equal to P into R into T upon 100. P into R into T upon 100, which is equal to P is rupees 1200, R is 12 upon 3 into 100. Now this and this cut. So 12 into 12 is equal to 144. 144 into 3. So 4 3 is 12 again 4 3 are 12 plus 1, so which is equal to 13, 1 3 are 3, so rupees 432. So the simple interest is rupees 432. So P into R into 2 upon 100, which is 1200 upon 100 into 12 into 3, so 0 0 cut, 12 into 12, 143 into 3, rupees 143. Now we have to find out amount is equal to P plus SI, principal plus SI, which is equal to rupees 1200 plus rupees, this is 432. So 1200 plus 432 is equal to rupees 1632. So the amount is here rupees 1632. So this is the answer for question number 9. First B is your homework. Now let us see question number 10. Question number 10 is, what rate gives rupees 280 as interest on sum of rupees 15,000 in 2 years? Here P is given, principal is given that rupees 56,000, then rate we have to find out. Time is again given, time at the end of 2 years, that is 2 years it is given. SI is given, simple interest is given rupees 280. Now we have to find out the rate, so we know the formula, we know that R is equal to SI into 100 upon P into T. This is the formula to find out the R, that is rate of interest, SI into 100 upon P into T. So your SI is here, rupees we will not write, then it is 280 multiplied by 100 upon, it is given 56000 into 2. Now first we will cut the 0, this cut, this 0, this. 28 2s are 56, so it will be 1 upon 4, 2 2s are 4, so 1 upon 4%, 1 upon 4%, 1 upon 4% means this you can write as 0.25%. So the rate of interest is 0.25%. So we can say that so the rate of interest is 0.25%. So the rate of interest is 0.25%. Here P was given, R was not given, T is 2 year, SI is rupees 280. So R is equal to SI into 100, P into T. 280 multiplied by 100, SI is 280, so 280 multiplied by 100, P is 56,000 into 2, so 1 upon 4%, that is equal to 0.25%. Now let us see the last question, that is question number 11. If Meena give an interest of rupees 45 for 1 year at 9% per annum, what is the sum she has borrowed? Now here principal is not given. Rate is given at the rate 9% per annum, that is per year. T time is given here for 1 year. So here it is given 1 year. SI is given rupees 45. So here principal is not given, rate is given, T is given and SI is given. So we have to find out principal. So we know that P is equal to SI into 100 upon R into T. P is equal to SI into 100 upon R into T, which is equal to SI is 45 into 100 upon R is given 9 into 1. 9 5 is 45, so which is equal to, we can say rupees 500. So principal is here rupees 500. So we can say that, so C has borrowed, so C had borrowed rupees 500. So C had borrowed rupees 500. So now here we end our question exercise 8.3 and we also end our chapter 8. The remaining sum, whatever is remaining, that you have to do in homework. Thank you.